Hi, my name is Simone and I'm the Zen Mommy. And thank you for watching my YouTube channel where I help people with spiritual awakening and ascension. And today's day 5 of sharing my natural healing gifts and my sound healing journey. And so today I want to talk about the healing gift of Reiki. And energy healing. I guess I'm gonna put those two together because to me they're just so similar. When I first had my awakening, the very first thing I was drawn to is Reiki. I heard someone say, "Oh, they were talking to me about a Reiki master." I'm like, "What is a Reiki master?" So I started to look, and I started to learn. Imagine coming from just new to the whole spiritual journey, coming out of religion, and hearing about something like Reiki. So I had to investigate Reiki, and so I I was a real skeptic at first, and but one thing I did believe is I believed in healings because I would see like the miracle of healings in church when the people would pray for it. They would actually manifest healings. So I knew healings were possible. In fact, all my life I had a deep belief that miracles exist, the unknown exists, all this beautiful stuff. And so for me, I was just waiting for the moment in my life to open up to these beautiful gifts. And so I wanted to learn Reiki so bad after I had read the story about Mackay Usai, the guy who wrote Reiki, who created the Reiki. He said that his students came to him and was like, Mackay Usai, how did Jesus and Buddha heal people with laying hands? And he said that he was puzzled, that he could not figure out how they were able to lay hands on people and heal them. And so he decided to go up to a mountain and he fasted for I believe it was 21 days. He did a 21-day fast looking for an answer on how to heal people with their hands. And so he by the end of the 21 day, a symbol lighted up on his head, and apparently it was a Reiki symbol. And he had a download of this knowledge of how to do energy healing. But with Reiki uses symbols to ignite the energetic charge. So, so he created this process, and I ended up getting this course and learning this process. And so when I first started as a Reiki master, I wanted to be a full time Reiki master. I wanted to open a practice, and I wanted to. This is what I wanted to do. And then, as I started to awaken, everybody had a Reiki master's degree. Like everybody was a Reiki. Everybody was a Reiki practitioner. And it didn't seem all of that popular. But what I did learn about Reiki, see, the thing about Reiki that really drew me to it is Mackay Usai's story. Now they call it when they say the energy that comes through your hand, they call it ki. Um, and Japanese is ki, and Chinese is chi, I think. Excuse me if I'm wrong, but it's ki, chi, and prana and Ayurvedic medicine. And so each of these stand for Reiki stands for life force energy. So ki is energy, and Rei is life force. And so but in every in every in every culture they had a different word for energy. They had ki, chi, but they were saying in the Western cultures the word for energy was spirit. And so at that point I connected the dots. This life force energy around us was spirit. And so what Mackay Usai had found out is how to tap into the life force energy and be able to channel it through your hands. And so I was beyond amazed. I just had to see this process. I had to learn it. I had to just know. But I really believe that even though I didn't become like a full time Reiki practitioner or anything after that, I really believe it was the doorway for me to into this whole spirituality, this spiritual journey as a spiritual healer, opening up to the unknown. It opened the door wide open because I began to see that, um, um, I began to see that, contrary to popular belief, that accessing the spirit to heal isn't just in religion. And in fact, this is not just spirit, this is life force energy. And so after I got my Reiki license, I remember the first only person I had to practice on was my daughter. And I remember the first time I did it, I was so nervous, but I did the Reiki for the first time. And right away, I picked up, like, cause I did a scan. So you do like a scan of the body. And I went over a certain part, I think I went over her stomach, and I felt heat radiating. And I was just like, I said, something wrong with your stomach? Like, immediately I was able to pick up on that. And she was like, I've been feeling some cramps. And it's amazing what you'll feel when you're tuned in to pick up on the subtle energy fields of a person. And so I remember one time I think I was in the social security office getting a new card, and it was right after I had my, my Reiki classes and everything. I was already certified, and I knew, how to Reiki heal. So the thing is, when the energy turns on, you feel it. It feels like a tingling sensation in your hand. So you can definitely feel the energy coming out of your hand. It like tingles. And so um, they say that, when someone walks by and needs, if you pass by someone who actually needs a healing, your energy could turn on, a tingling sensation, because your body will naturally be, your spirit will be naturally drawn to want to heal someone who is, hurting. And so I remember I was, sitting here in a crowded old unemployment office, and a woman walked by me. And, she was an older woman who was limping. And all of a sudden, this energy turned on in my hands so powerfully that I nearly passed out. Like, it was so strong. So it will take practice of the varying levels of energy that could come through. It takes time and practice to get really good at it. And so I was beyond amazed at that point. And then I learned about energy healing. I was just like, what? What? Energy healing? And then when I found out about energy healing, you didn't have to use the symbols. And so I started to take the energy healing course, and I got certified for that. And and on top of that, I got trained by two shamans in healing. And so at the end of all of those courses and learning all of this stuff about healing other people, I came to this conclusion about healing people, doing energetic healing like that. Number one, Reiki is beautiful and cool, and I love the story, but I learned the symbols are not needed. Energy healing is cool, and I loved my teacher, and I loved my teacher, but they all were doing kind of the same exact thing with different techniques. I noticed people, and then I started to learn about pranic healing and all these different kind of healings, and like my energy healing class kind of touched bases on a lot of different modalities. And I really saw that they were doing the same thing, but they just each had different rules. And so then when the shaman had taught me, one of the shamans that taught me were telling me about how to charge the energy to get it to come out of my hands. So apparently there's different ways you can do it, right? And so the one thing I learned is, um, I remember being confused when I did my first Reiki session. Like, I was doing a Reiki session for the first time. I remember I was so excited. But I had all of these lessons in my head, like, oh, do it this way, do it that way, do it that way. And that kind of drove me crazy. And so what happened was I had to just go into it intuitively. I had to let go of like the knowledge. It's good to have the base of knowledge, but I really just kind of had to let go and allow myself to feel my spirit and feel my energy and feel through what I needed to do. And I started to learn a lot of times with these modalities, I guess some people need rules, but we are spiritual beings and we're creators. We can tap into this healing energy at any time. And we can definitely, anybody can be a natural healer, especially if you're passionate enough and you put the time and energy and the intentions into being a healer. And so I guess I just wanted to share my natural healing abilities. I ended up going into coaching, and doing like spiritual counseling and Zen mommy. And so sometimes when I'm working with someone, I'll do an energy healing or Reiki session, like part of our coaching package. I will, sometimes they're working through stuff. And so I kind of help heal them. But one thing I learned when working with healing people, I know Reiki can make people feel really good, and energy healing, laying, transferring that energy, it feels really good. But I've learned that the best healing took place when I was actually personally working one on one. See, you can heal somebody for a day and make them feel good, but if you can teach them how to find the imbalance, how to find what's causing the pain or the emotional trauma, you can actually go back and you can actually heal yourself in this journey. Therefore, you won't need to keep going to energy healers for putting a band-aid on it or whatever. Some things, I mean, it's great for some things. You have pain, if you use energetic transfer, you can get rid of it right away. That's great. But there's other things that it's just gonna take it's just gonna take some shadow work. Some things go so far without, some things go deep within. It goes it might be earlier traumas in our life. It could be an imbalance somewhere in our aura field or our chakra system that could be affecting an organ. And so I really learned that the best healing technique was working with people one on one and figuring out what they needed and showing them how to balance and heal themselves. And so, but with that being said, going into my sound healing journey, I really feel like these are all beneficial to me. Like I learned a lot of knowledge in Reiki and in energy healing, and now I'm learning about the whole magic of sound healing. And so, if you watch my video today, how I use voice to do some deep shadow work, this is why I feel like sound healing may be a more powerful, effective option because the everything about the sound healing is intuitive. It's not about me transferring energy. It's about us working with sound and vibration. The sound and vibration will intuitively communicate to you. It will show you the imbalances in your body, and it will help entrain the frequencies of your body to kind of to heal, and so that you can become more balanced. And so I'm definitely loving the sound healing journey, and I'm loving that all my gifts together are coming together into like one beautiful package, because I'm still Zen mommy, and I'm still going to be working with and coaching people, but now I'm just going to have another aspect to it. I'm going to, I'm going to be adding the sound aspects, adding the helping people to clear that energy and to go within and, heal and heal and have a beautiful healing journey. And so, let me see, is that what I wanted to say? I think that is it for now. Just want to share those two natural healing gifts that I had. And I'm really having fun sharing these videos. And thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. Namaste.